What's up, everybody? It is your girl, Jab Queen Boxing, and you guessed it, we are back for yet another one. So, a little while ago, I was on IG, checking my inbox, seeing what's going on, and I happened to see that Keyshawn Davis was live. So I was like, "Oh snap!" Obviously we haven't seen Keyshawn; he's kind of been out of the limelight for a bit. So I clicked on it just to see what was happening, and lo and behold, what I heard.
But you live and you learn. For the kids watching this, man, learn from my mistakes. Like my mistake was public, and definitely tough pill to swallow. You know what I'm saying? So just learn from my mistakes, man. Don't do what I do. Right now, like I'm in a position where, as far as like my career and stuff like that, y'all keep asking me like, what's next? Y'all keep asking me like 140. Y'all keep asking me like 135. Bro, at this point, I'm damn near retired.
So naturally, this disturbed my soul. For those of you confused about why he would say such a thing, well, if you remember this past June 7th to be exact, Keyshawn Davis was scheduled to fight Edwin De Los Santos in Norfolk Arena at the Norfolk, Virginia at the Scope Arena. Good God, I got tongue tied. As the main event. Well, unfortunately, Keyshawn missed weight and the fight was subsequently canceled. Now, on that card, we had obviously his two brothers, along with Abdullah Mason, who ended up headlining because Keyshawn missed the weight. So, as I said, it's his two brothers were on the card. Kelvin Davis, who faced Nair Albright. Nair Albright faced Keyshawn previously and lost. But on June 7th, when he fought Kelvin Davis, Keyshawn's brother, um, he actually beat Kelvin. After the fight, it was said to have been a little dust up backstage between the two families. Obviously, Keyshawn was unhappy with the fact that his brother lost to someone that he had previously beat. I did do a video on this, after it happened, and I will, put the link or pin the video in this video at the end. But nevertheless, he's saying he isn't hearing anything back from Top Rank. He doesn't really know what's going on, what weight class he may possibly be campaigning at, so on and so forth, right? Here's my issue. Now, I had my issues with Keyshawn at the time where Top Rank, they cut and they went backstage and they showed all this chaos and mayhem going on between the two families. Obviously, arena security got involved, things like that. And I was extremely disappointed in Keyshawn. I was extremely upset already with him because he missed weight, which I feel is unprofessional, and you call yourself the businessman. So I was just a little upset with him. I was very upset, I'm not going to lie. And then the fact that it took him a long time to officially apologize, right? But as I said in my previous video, and it bears repeating, he is young, not that young, but he is young and he does have time and room to make mistakes. Nobody is perfect. I do not think that Top Rank is done with him because Keyshawn is a hell of a fighter. He still has plenty of fights that can be made on his behalf. It could just be the fact that Top Rank is in transition right now. They obviously have to find another platform to host all of their boxing events moving forward. It could be a number of things. This incident is still somewhat fresh. So there could be a few reasons why Keyshawn Davis hasn't heard anything from Top Rank, if that is in fact true. Right. I was in the chat while he was live. I said Frank Martin is a good fight for you at 140 pounds, although he said he doesn't know if he's going back to 135 or 140. But these are options that are available to him. Gary Antoine Russell is at 140. Teofimo Lopez is at 140. I know before there was a conversation about them possibly trying to make a fight, and I know that Teo didn't want it. But right now, Teo's acting like a prima donna, so who knows, right? I do know that Frank was supposed to come back on the undercard of Gervonta and Lamont in August 15th. I don't know if he's going to wait until the fall to fight on their undercard anyway, or if he's looking for another possible opportunity to showcase his skills at 140. That would be a perfect matchup for both of them to come back. Keyshawn has not fought since the Barinchek fight. Frank has been out of the ring since he took that loss to Gervonta Davis. So all in all, it would be a good matchup for them. A nice comeback for both of them to test their skills at 140. They're both moving to a different weight class. If they needed a different fight, or acclimation fight, or whatever you want to call it, and then get in the ring with one another, then that is fine as well. Another key thing I want to mention is Keyshawn Davis was supposed to be a ring ambassador. So the fact that he hasn't even heard anything from Turkey is a little alarming. Although, again, they could just be trying to figure things out. We know that Turkey has this big card coming up September 13th, the Canelo versus Crawford. He also has the November card. It's a possibility that maybe he can stick Keyshawn on that. I do know that he's still doing America's Got Talent tryouts for the undercard of Canelo versus Crawford. So he has a lot of possibilities. I'm not really sure why this young man has not been contacted by his promotional company. It is a little alarming, but I do not want to immediately assume the worst. I think Keyshawn has a lot of good fighting years ahead of him. He just maybe needs to stay patient, kind of weather the storm, and see what happens when Top Rank lands on their feet. I will be following this story. I will see what goes on in the near future, see if there's any mention of Keyshawn, and see if I can shake some trees and see what falls out. Okay? But until next time, y'all know what to do, baby. Catch me on a panel.